Kick-ass facts, actual lawsuits against gods and the devil. Pew, 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 pew! I don't remember how I tripped and fell down this rabbit hole, but I am glad that I did. In 1969, Arizona lawyer Russell T. Tanzi filed a lawsuit against God on behalf of his secretary, Betty Penrose. Seeking $100,000 in damages, Penrose blamed God for his negligence in allowing a lightning bolt to strike her house. The lawsuit was placed under the argument that God owned property in Sonoma County due to the Limelighter singer Lou Gottlieb transferring the deed of his Morningstar Ranch to God about a week before. The deed was ruled invalid due to God not being able to take possession of the property, so Penrose's lawsuit was also deemed invalid. Nebraska State Senator Ernie Chambers filed a suit in 2008 against God, seeking a permanent injunction against God's harmful activities as an effort to publicize the issue of public access to the court system. The suit was dismissed because God could not be properly notified, not having a fixed address. The judge stated, given that this court finds there can never be service effectuated on the named defendant, this action will be dismissed with prejudice. The senator, assuming God to be singular and all-knowing, responded, the court itself acknowledges the existence of God. A consequence of that acknowledgement is a recognition of God's omniscience. Since God knows everything, God has notice of this lawsuit. Missed it. Got it. By suing God, he emphasized that attempts by the legislature to prohibit the filing of any lawsuit would run afoul of the Nebraska's Constitution's guarantee that the doors to the courthouse must be open to everyone. A judge finally threw the case out, saying the Almighty was not properly served due to his unlisted home address. I mean, any church, right? In 2005, a Romanian prisoner identified only as Pavel M., serving 20 years after being convicted of murder, filed a lawsuit against the Romanian Orthodox Church as God's representatives in Romania for failing to keep him from the devil, essentially stating that his baptism had been a binding contract. Pavel said, God received different material valuables from me as well as prayers in exchange for promises of a better life. In reality, this did not happen. I find myself in the devil's hands. The suit was dismissed because the defendant, God, was neither an individual nor a company and was therefore not subject to the civil court of law's jurisdiction. Chandan Kumar Singh, I hope, a lawyer from Bihar, India, sued the Hindu god Rama for mistreating his wife, the goddess Sita, and banishing her to lifelong exile for no fault of her own. Singh, in his complaint, said it was hypocritical for King Rama. He did not think for a single moment how a woman could live alone amid wild animals, including reptiles and mammals in the forest. The court dismissed the case on February 1st, 2016, calling it impractical. As the Hindu deity known for love, compassion, devotion, strength, and intelligence, Lord Hanuman is one of the most widely worshipped Hindu gods. Sorry if I got that wrong. A lower court in Bihar, India issued a summons to Lord Hanuman himself because a temple established in his name was obstructing traffic. When the Public Works Department filed a case of encroachment against the temple, the court issued a summons to the god to appear in court. What's that? Live on scene. He's still not made an appearance. This one's a little bit different. In 2013, Kenyan lawyer Dola Ndidis, sued Israel and Italy, the countries, for human rights violations committed against Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago. Is there a statute of limitations on that? Probably not. In his petition to the International Court of Justice, he asked the court declare the trial of Jesus and the subsequent nailing on the cross went against the principles of fair trial and should be therefore declared a mistrial. A spokesperson for the Catholic Archdiocese of Nairobi said, nobody can do justice to God. I could only find one lawsuit against the devil. I mean, you're literally playing with fire, if you believe that kind of thing. Gerald Mayo versus Satan and his staff was a 1971 case filed before the United States District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania, in which Gerald Mayo alleged that Satan has on numerous occasions caused plaintiff misery and unwarranted threats against the will of plaintiff, that Satan has placed deliberate obstacles in his path and has caused plaintiff's downfall, and has therefore deprived him of his constitutional rights. This is prohibited under several sections of the United States Code. Mayo filed in forma pauperis. That is, he asserted that he would not be able to afford the costs associated with his lawsuit, and they should therefore be waived. The court refused the request to proceed because the plaintiff had not included instructions for how the U.S. Marshal could serve process on Satan. I mean, there's like half a dozen episodes of Supernatural that... Wait, it was 1971. Never mind.